Hello guys, so this is your opportunity to apply for a scholarship in Australia, a study scholarship in Australia. So the Australia Awards are now open for international students. So you go on the website here, the government website, and we go on apply. So we come to Australia Awards here, scholarships. So this is the information about Australia Awards Scholarship. All the information that you need is on this page. What we need to know is to understand which one are the participating institutions. So by participating institutions, they're basically referring to the universities that are offering this scholarship in Australia. This is a list of all the universities here. You see, so many of them. So what you do is to just, for example, let's say you want the University of Melbourne. You just click this, you paste on Google, or you can type on Google the university that you want. You look for the program that you want and you apply. Also, we have got participating countries, like which countries can participate in this program. So in this case, we have got 3 continents: Africa, Asia, and the Pacific. Personally, I'm from Africa, so it becomes an interest to me. And these are the countries under Africa. Let's click here and see the list. So these are the lists of participating countries in Africa. We've got Algeria, Angola, and my country is also there, Zimbabwe. So as long as you come from these countries, it means you can actually apply for this program. And it's important to note the deadlines for this application. So it opened on the 1st of February and it's going to close on the 30th of April, and it means starting your studies next year, January, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so dates for study commencing in 2027. Yes, so the academic year starts next year, January, February. So this is the time for you to start applying and to make sure that you also meet the deadline of 30th April. There are so many documents you may need, so you've got enough time to prepare for this opportunity. So we want to understand more, right, about this opportunity. I'm gonna open this document for Africa just to understand what we need to know about this scholarship, right? So like I mentioned earlier on, this is the list of eligible countries in Africa. I focused more on Africa maybe because that's where I come from and that's where my target audience is from, like the majority of them are from. Yeah, right. Also take note that women and people with disability or other marginalized groups, they are encouraged to apply. And once you decide to apply, these are the priority fields of study that are prioritized under this application. So if you apply for a program that doesn't fall under these priority fields, trust me, you won't be able to get it. So the first priority field is agriculture and food security. So if you go to the university website, you look for a master's degree that is related to agriculture and food security. The second priority field is climate change. The third one is foreign policy and international security. The fourth one is gender, disability, and social inclusion. And the third one is mining and energy. So once you are decided, right, on which priority area you want. You then go to those university websites. I showed you those universities before, and then you start looking for a degree that falls under any of these priority fields. Right. If we go down here, we see that the level of study is a master's qualification here at an Australian tertiary institution. So those are the universities that I showed you before, the list of universities. Right. What are the benefits? Like what is covered under this scholarship? That's what they mean by the benefits. Right. So these master's degrees, they are 2-year programs, right? You can choose to do a master's by research or a master's by coursework. What is covered under this scholarship? You will receive a return air travel. It's covered, so you don't worry about travel, about air tickets. A once-off establishment allowance on arrival. So once you get or you arrive in Australia, you get an allowance. For those who studied in Europe, like in my case, when we got there, through various scholarships, you would get money to buy your laptop, to buy your clothes. For example, it's cold or it's summer, you need clothes that's conducive to the weather. You as well get money that can help you with settling, like buying things that you may need to settle. So this is what they mean by the once-off establishment allowance on arrival. Then you have your full tuition fees covered. So it means you don't worry about paying your school fees. It's all covered under this scholarship. And they pay direct to the university. I know for some they'll be saying, oh, I'll be given money to pay my school fees. No, it will be paid directly to the university so that you don't have that burden of, doing it yourself. Then it has a contribution to living expenses. So by living expenses, it means you get a stipend every month or an allowance every month to cover your rent, your transport, your food, your internet, like anything, like everything that you need to survive in Australia. It will be covered under living expenses. Yeah. And you have support towards introductory academic program. If this requires money, it will be covered under this scholarship. Then overseas student health cover for the duration of the scholarship. So normally when you're in a foreign country, you need a health cover so that if you get sick, your health is covered, your health costs are covered. If you die, of course, I'm not wishing anyone dead, but circumstances happen, everything will be covered under the health cover or the health insurance. So this is included in the scholarship, so you don't have to worry about paying for your health surcharge. Then supplementary academic support, whatever, anything that requires money whilst you're studying or during your studies, it is covered under this scholarship. Also, it will cover fieldwork allowance for research students and masters by coursework, which is a compulsory fieldwork component. Like I said before, with these masters, you can choose to do a masters by research or you can choose to do a masters by coursework. And both of these masters programs have got compulsory fieldwork where you'll be collecting data and stuff. So any money related to your fieldwork, it will be covered under this scholarship. And you can go through this, this handbook. It's quite a big document. Let's click it just to see more about this opportunity. As you can see, it has 180 pages. So if you want more information in detail, it's all in this book. Right. Sorry. Yeah. We come back to where we were. Right. This is the eligibility criteria for this scholarship. Right. Most African countries, eligible candidates from African countries before 1 February 2027. You must be a minimum of 25 years of age on 1 February 2027. So here we've got age cutoff. All those who are 24 and below, you are not eligible for this scholarship. And at least a minimum, like you have a minimum of 5 years of postgraduate work experience working in a field relative to their field of study. So you need to have post-study work experience after maybe your bachelor's. Yeah. Be employed at the time of applying for the scholarship. You must be employed. This is part of the eligibility criteria. And you must be a citizen of one of these countries. I'm highlighting the countries. We talked about them before. At the same time, you must not have a master's degree. I know for some they already have master's degrees. In this case, you will not be eligible for this opportunity. But trust me, I've seen a podcast of a guy with a master's degree, but he also benefited from this scholarship. So I don't know how it works on that one, but this is part of the eligibility. And you must already have an undergraduate degree for you to be eligible to apply for these awards. And you must not have previously received a long-term award in Australia, right? And this one, I know a lot of people, they want to study abroad, but they don't really put an effort to have these documents in place, which is the English language proficiency test. I always encourage people to invest in IELTS or PTE or whatever English test that they find to be easy. Remember, these certificates can last for 2 to 3 years, so that's a good investment, and you can use it to apply for so many opportunities. So in this case, you are required to have an English language proficiency. Considering the deadlines that is due in April, it means you've got so much time to be able to do your English test. That is, if you don't have an English test certificate. Like I mentioned before, these are the application deadlines. The studies are starting in 2027. So now the awards are open, like the applications are open 1st February, and they're going to close on the 30th of April, meaning there are 3 months to apply for this scholarship. So the application process is done online through a website called Oasis, a platform called Oasis. So if you click on Oasis here, you have guidance on how to apply for the scholarships. Right. This is the most important thing now, right? You need to gather all your supporting documents. Make sure you have all your supporting documents. But it's not a lot of work because you already have your passport. If not, you just need maybe a week or 2 to apply for one, depending with your country. I'm glad in my home country now you can get a passport under 1 hour, which is a good development. You need to have your undergraduate degree certificate, right? Here, there is a list which shows that they need to be certified. You just go to the Commissioner of Oaths, they can certify the document for you. So you have your passport, which shows your proof of citizenship. You have your undergraduate degree certificate, including the transcript. You have your curriculum vitae. If you go back to the website, I'll go back and show you the templates, right, that they want for the CV, as well as a referee report. There is a template as well for the referee report that you can download and share with your referee. So here, this one is the employer reference, and another one is an academic reference that your employer and maybe your supervisor or your dean faculty of what? Oh my goodness, my English is disappearing. They need to give a reference as well. Then you submit your proof of English language proficiency certificate. These are the required documents. And So this is the selection process, right? And shortlisted applicants will be contacted. Here, how they are selecting or how they are assessing, they look at academic competence, they look at potential outcome, specifically the contribution to development outcomes in Africa. So when you're putting in your application, right, or whatever your personal statements applying for the program, show how you're also going to contribute to the development in Africa. If you choose climate change, show how you want to transform change around climate change in your home country or in Africa. If you choose issues around gender, show how you're also going to influence change or be it policies when it comes to that particular development issue, right? So make sure that comes out well in your personal statements or your motivational letters. Then you must also show, they will also assess you based on your professional and personal leadership attributes, including relevant work experience. To be honest, this is something your employer can as well, justify in their reference to show how relevant you are when it comes to the thematic area that you are applying for. They are saying that successful candidates will be notified in late 2026. So, guys, we need to prepare now. And here's what will happen to successful applicants in preparation for your study in Australia. There is a course counseling, pre-departure briefing, university introductory academic program. And under here, if you want to inquire something, you're more than welcome to send an email or call on these numbers, right? There is a section where I saw the templates. Let me see if I can find them. Right. So if you come here where it's written supporting documents, this is where you can find the templates that you can use to make your CV. This one, the template for the referees, your academic referee and your professional referees. These are the templates provided here. And they've emphasized that be careful when you use artificial intelligence. You can use it just to check your spellings, your grammar, and organizing your ideas. But you mustn't use it like to do all the work for you. You can be automatically disqualified. So basically, that's it.